Hi kids, it's me again, Mr. Tony, man, and it's time for your video art lesson. And this week has been Jamaican week. We've been learning about the country of Jamaica, making art about Jamaica. And here we have the sample I've been working on for our introduction with the Jamaican flag, a Jamaican reggae pattern in the background there with those reggae colors, those 4 reggae colors. And then I believe last time I made a watercolor painting of some tropical palm trees because Jamaica is a tropical country, a tropical island nation. Okay, and I've added something today. Let me zoom in real close. You'll notice here, I've got something in between the trees. And up here, in between the letters. If you look closely, you'll tell that's not something I drew or painted. It's a picture that I cut up and kind of pieced together here, added it to my art. And there's melons over here. And that's called collage, okay? When you take pictures that are already made from magazines or newspapers or maybe photographs you've taken and you cut them up and you kind of piece them together, that's called a collage. And I've done that a couple of times, but not too often. But I thought it would be a nice thing to add here because I went online to look up some Jamaican artists and see what kind of art is being made down in Jamaica. And I found this artist. And this is a piece done by an artist, a Jamaican artist, whose name is Ebony Patterson. And she does big pictures, which are kind of like collages, although they're actually called tapestries because they're made of cloth and they're kind of sewn together like a quilt. And what she does is she'll take people. I noticed that in many of her pictures that she would often have people. I think that's the most important subject matter in all of her art, is the people. And here you can see there's a man sitting. Maybe it's a boy. Over here is a girl, young girl, and there's another girl, and there's a woman, or maybe it's a young girl too, I'm not sure. That looks like a man. And then there's another guy sitting over here, and then there are all these pieces, probably from fabric that she kind of put together. You see a little polka dot pattern there that looks like it might be from a tablecloth or cloth that's used for skirts or shirts. And there's all sorts of pieces put together. Looks like there's fruits down here. And you'll notice these lines hanging up and down. Those are beads. And to me, they look like actual beads, like Mardi Gras beads, the shiny beads that you see at parades and stuff. And she's hung them all over her art. And I have another sample, and you'll see that it's different, but it's similar. It's got some people, and then it's got all these beads all over it, and then you see these cloth patterns that are probably sewn in, or maybe they're just glued in. I didn't study exactly how she made her art. I just got a good sense of it looking at it. And that's the most important things. When you look at it, you're like, wow, that's very colorful. That's very tropical. It has this great Jamaican feel. And I think she's going to be pretty famous. I don't know how famous she is right now, but I imagine she'll be in museums all over the world. And if she comes to the Montclair Art Museum near us, I'd love to go on a field trip because this is good stuff. Okay, so that's what I was going to use for today's lesson, collage. Collage inspired by Ebony Patterson, the Jamaican artist Ebony Patterson. And here I have what we had been working on, but you'll notice all the collage pieces are already added. And that is because I already did the lesson and I posted it on YouTube, and I had some music playing in the background by popular bands, one being the Beatles, and I think YouTube said no. The video got blocked. So I have no music. I have no Beatles music playing. And I already did the lesson, but I'm gonna show you how I did it and explain a little bit of what I've done already here. I've added a couple people like Ebony Patterson does in her pictures. And these are famous people. This man right here is the most famous reggae musician of all reggae musicians, Bob Marley. And you can look him up, because they might block that too if I play a Bob Marley song, but you can look him up and listen to some of his reggae music. Classic reggae. I think he's the man who really launched reggae. And then down here, here's another musician. His name is Shaggy. I really don't know his music, but he apparently does rap music, but it's kind of like reggae rap. That's my speaker acting up. I'm going to play some music in a minute. It's acting up a little bit. Okay, so I added those people. And then these are a couple of guys just walking in a Jamaican street scene. And I thought they looked kind of interesting, so I cut them out and I put them in there. And then I have this reggae pattern over here and over here. And some wrapping paper over here. And then I had a street lamp that I thought looked kind of neat, so I just cut it out and stuck it back there as if it's behind this pattern. Then I added dots. I wanted to do something like beads, which Ebony Patterson does, but I don't have beads. So I just took my marker and I added little dots as if they were beads hanging down through my picture. And I added a little bit of tropical foliage up there. I believe those are some palm leaves in there somewhere. And a pineapple. Okay, and some bananas. Fruit is very colorful. It has a nice tropical feel. When I looked up pictures of Jamaica online, I found these Jamaican street scenes, street markets with fruit, and just piles of fruit. And I thought, oh, that'll look good for our collage. So that's what I did. I cut out some fruit and some other things. And here I have another pineapple that I just cut out so I can demonstrate how collage is done. It's actually pretty simple. If you're going to do it, you'll just need scissors and some newspapers or old magazines you don't need that you can cut up. I have to find my glue. Okay, and you just cut things up and you make a new picture out of it. You put them together. And if you're working on your Jamaican art, you can maybe find some pictures that remind you of Jamaica. Like I said, fruit I think is good. If you have cooking magazines, you can use fruit. Really, you could use anything you like, but if you're adding to your Jamaican picture, I have to find my board. If you're adding to your Jamaican picture, it would be good if you could find some Jamaican type things, right? I actually got pictures of Shaggy and Bob Marley off the internet when I just did a search of famous Jamaicans. And those two and a bunch of other people came up, and I just made a print, cut it out, and added it to my picture. I'm making a whole new kind of art, and it's all Jamaican. And now I'm going to add a pineapple. I'm telling you, today it feels like Jamaica. It's very hot and it's very humid. I don't have the air conditioning on because it's right behind me. It'll make too much noise. So not only am I making art about Jamaica, but I feel like I'm in Jamaica. Okay, where am I going to put this pineapple? This is what collaging is all about. You take these pieces, these clippings, and you put them together, and you got to figure out where to put them. Now, where should I put this? Down there, maybe hanging down there. I got one here. It seems like it should be near the other pineapple. I could put it right there like that. right next to Bob Marley. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to make it look like it's going behind the tree here. So this is where it gets a little fancy. I'm gonna fold that back and then I'm gonna cut it. Okay, I was a little unprepared today because I thought my lesson was already done and ready to go until the people at YouTube said, sorry, no good. All right, so I'm gonna snip a little bit of that pineapple off. There, now it looks kind of like it's behind the tree. Maybe I should tuck it under this other thing I got here. Let's see if I can pull that back just enough. Yeah, that's good. Now it looks kind of tucked in there, and it's tucked behind this pineapple, right? That gives it a little more three-dimensionality. You can sort of tuck things and cut them out. I cut out Bob Marley's dreadlocks right there to give it a little more of an interesting look. Or you could just cut out square pieces of paper. It's up to you. You can get very detailed or just leave it rough if you like. But that's how you do collage. You just cut things out and you piece it together and you make a whole new picture, hopefully with a theme. And the theme of this one is Jamaica, right? And maybe you can add to your Jamaican artwork with some pieces that have something to do with Jamaica. Okay, so that's it for today's lesson and for our lessons on Jamaica and art of Jamaica. Now I forgot to play the music. I'll sign off with a little bit of ska music. There we go. Okay. Sorry, this has been a little bit of a messy lesson, but like I said, my lesson was already done, ready to go, and it got blocked. Okay, and this is original ska from the 40s or 50s maybe. It's old stuff, and I don't think YouTube minds me playing this. But there is some new stuff by bands that are, well, they're not around now. They were around when I was younger, actually. Very popular bands, one being the Beatles, another one being the Police. And they made music that was, they made some songs that were very influenced by ska music. And I'm going to send you a couple of links since I can't play it, so you can listen to them. And that kind of ska music or music, rock music actually, that was influenced by ska. Okay, so that's it for today and for this week. I hope you have a good weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.